Priests of Mamfe Diocese have taken stock of their works in the diocese. They recently met at the Association of Diocesan Priests of Mamfe Diocese. Day number 1 of the General Certificate Examinations GCE takes off hitch-free in Buea. We visited some examination centers as we bring to you in this newscast. And today is commemorated globally as Menstrual Hygiene Day. Some local organizations have been doing well to put smiles on the faces of teenage girls in Buea. We tell you more in the minutes ahead. Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to tonight's edition of our 7 p.m. newscast. Those were our top stories for tonight's edition. Stay tuned for the details. We begin our newscast tonight in Buea Diocese, where Christians who represented the Diocese of Buea for the pilgrimage, a 9-day pilgrimage in Rome, have been awarded some certificates for their spiritual sacrifices. The certificates were awarded by His Lordship Michael Bibi on the sidelines of the Pontifical High Mass to grace the occasion of Moliko Dineri celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea. Details and more with Joseph Otto.
After successfully participating in a 9-day pilgrimage in Rome as part of the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea, the pilgrims who embarked on this journey joined the Moliko Dineri this Saturday at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral to thank God. Thanking God for a successful pilgrimage in Rome, Bishop Michael, in his homily, thanked the pilgrims for the sacrifice towards this pilgrimage and the church, and urged them to continue praying for peace in Jerusalem, where initially the pilgrimage was to take place. At the course of this celebration, pilgrims received certificates of participation from Rome and the Diocese of Buea. Meanwhile, some Christians who make up the 5 parishes of the Moliko Dineri received certificates of appreciation from their parish priest for their resilience and dedication.
Madame Kenyafa Mirabel, the
Receiving these certificates, they expressed their joy and satisfaction.
Co-Cathedral celebrating the launching of the 75th anniversary of the whole Diocese of Buea. We're here today and we have been given certificates. I'm one of the pilgrims that went to Rome, and as you can see, this is my certificate given from the Holy Father, and the second one from our Lord Bishop Bibi, a certificate of participation. I feel so delighted being here today because when I went to Rome, I realized that I was missing a lot and actually came back with a lot of blessing which I've been transferring and giving to my co-Christians, and everybody is receiving so well.
The thing about this certificate is that it came to me as a wonderful surprise, but I take it as God's gift to me, an appreciation for my work that I've done. As it is, it's a certificate of appreciation. And I thank God that He has given me the energy to be doing the work that I'm doing for the church.
This therefore goes to say that an exceptional work ethic and willingness to put in the extra effort makes a noticeable difference.
Now to the Diocese of Mamfe. Christians of Holy Trinity Parish Ekok in Mamfe Diocese have been encouraged to make proper use of their church building, which was made a Eucharistic center over the weekend. This was in the context of the parish feast day during the Mass, which was presided at by His Lordship Aloysius Fondong Abangalo, Bishop of Mamfe. Aloysius Likie has details of this in the following report.
It was a weekend of joy, praise and worship at the Holy Trinity Parish in Ekok, as the parish was joined by the Chief Shepherd of Mamfe, Bishop Aloysius Fondong, to celebrate the parish feast day. The celebration opened with a Eucharistic celebration officiated by the Bishop, celebrating with priests in the diocese. The Bishop's homily was centered on the mystery of the Holy Trinity, 3 persons in one God, and the true meaning of love, which at times is misinterpreted by young people today. The high point of the parish feast day celebration was the blessing of the tabernacle and installation of the Blessed Sacrament in the parish. The parish priest of Holy Trinity Parish Ekok in the following excerpt says it's a new era for the parishioners of the Holy Trinity Parish in Ekok as the tabernacle and Blessed Sacrament has been installed in the church.
Today we celebrate our parish feast day, and an opportunity for us to have the bishop of the Diocese of Manfi to come and install our tabernacle in our new church. In fact, it's a glorious and a joyous day for us. I want to call on the parishioners, as the bishop said in his homily, that we should make use of Christ's presence in the church now. Because the church, as from today, is not the same as it was about 3-4 years ago. That we're transferring the Blessed Sacrament up and down. Now the Blessed Sacrament is settled in the tabernacle, and he has given us the opportunity to have Jesus Christ in our midst and to worship and adore him 24 hours a day.
The Bishop of Manfi, Bishop Aloysius Fondong, appreciated and acknowledged the significant progress in the church project, noting that much has been achieved after his last visit. He supported the church project in a bid to facilitate the installation of benches in the church. Mr. Eta Lawrence is a staunch member and a ninth of the parish. He gives us a brief about the parish.
When the founder bishop of Manfi Diocese was appointed, he created a parish. Since then, we have been worshiping and helping in all the activity going on. And I have to appreciate whoever priest who come here would like to bring development to this our parish. And especially Father Jude. When we approach him that we want to do something in this our church, he was the one who gave us a helping hand, advised us as our spiritual leader that buying a tabernacle for the church would be better for us. So it was transferred. We continue contributing until finally today we have realized the tabernacle and our bishop has come, install it and open it.
It should be recalled that with the blessing of the tabernacle and installation of the Blessed Sacrament, the Holy Trinity Parish Ekok is now a Eucharistic center.
We remain in Manfi Diocese, where priests of the Diocese of Manfi gathered recently to brainstorm on the pastoral life and ministry of their activities in the diocese, especially reflecting on those who've been working in very challenging areas in the course of the Anglophone crisis. The ADP meeting will also have socio-cultural and sporting activities, as Aloysius Likia tells us.
Members of the Association of Diocesan Priests in the Diocese of Manfi are gathered at the Immaculate Conception Parish in Gutsi for their 40th Annual General Assembly. The ADP is always an avenue wherein priests met to socialize with one another, discuss about pertinent issues about the priestly journey, and fine-tune common grounds for a smooth running of the activities. The priests of Manfi will in this 40th assembly discuss issues relating to their welfare and work in the One Family Diocese. It should be recalled that the One Family Diocese of Manfi just celebrated 25 years of its existence, and the priests during this annual come-together will also look back at the pastoral activities of the diocese with renewed strength and hope for the future. Some members of the Association of Diocesan Priests in Manfi gives us an insight of this year's ADP.
We are gathered here in Guti for our 40th plenary ADP meeting. ADP means Association of Diocesan Priests of Manfi. And we are all gathered here as a family of brothers to renew our brotherhood, to strengthen each other and to encourage each other. And the ADP is a very great fraternity to always keep the brothers together and priests together. And as we gather, we celebrate our lives for our gift and our vocation as priests and working in the Diocese of Manfi. During this meeting, we have had very, very beautiful discussions together to encourage one another and support one another, reviewing some of the challenges that we face in the field, within the context of the crisis and within the new plan of the diocese following the vision of the bishop.
We are here in Gutsi for our ADP meeting. We started on Sunday, and then yesterday we had our meeting. In course of the meeting, we discussed on how to foster our unity, on how to grow together, to make Manfi Diocese something more beautiful for God. And while in course of the meeting, a tip was also presented to us by Father Roland Are on health. Our priests, we are supposed to take care of our health because for us to carry out our work of evangelization well, we have to be healthy, both in mind and in body. And so my impression about this meeting is that it is good for us, the priests of the Diocese of Manfi. Looking at our terrain that is so difficult, we have to come together once in a while to encourage ourselves on how to carry out this work. And also taking from the first church, the apostles, they say that they were living together. And one of the motto of the Manfi Diocese is that how good and how pleasant for brothers to live together.
In the course of the meeting, the priest will also engage in spiritual, social, cultural and sporting activities, which opened with a football match played between the priests today.
We remain out of the Diocese of Boya, and this time around in the Diocese of Ebolowa, where students of Hildegard Bilingual High School have rounded up the academic year, and the ceremonies to round up the academic year saw the award of certificates to the Form 5 students. We take note that Hildegard Comprehensive or Hildegard Bilingual School is headed by priest of the Diocese of Boya, working as Fidei Donum in the Diocese of Ebolowa. Let us get the report of how the event transpired in that area.
It was a ceremony that ended the academic year at the Hildegard Bilingual College, Ebolowa, where Form 5 students joyously celebrated their academic prowess. Reverend Father Jervis Zinkem, having worked at the institution for 2 years as principal, is satisfied with the collaboration he has received from the Bishop of the Diocese of Ebolowa, where he is working as a Fidei Donum priest from the Diocese of Boya. The priest from the Diocese of Boya thanked his bishop, the Right Reverend Michael Bibi, for giving him the opportunity to work in the said diocese.
Being my second year as principal of Hildegard at Hildegard Bilingual College, I think I feel very welcome in the Diocese of Ebolowa. I have a lot of collaboration from the bishop here in Ebolowa, His Lordship Philip Alembaga. And I also thank my bishop, His Lordship Michael Bibi, who gave me this opportunity to come to the French region to exercise my priesthood. And I think this celebration has been good. I thank God for everything, and I wish the students the best through the course of the holidays, and the best to the Form 5 students who will be here this week on Tuesday.
The academic event, punctuated with awards of certificates to students, saw the principal, Reverend Father Jervis Zinkem, in his welcome address, lauding the influence of the Catholic Church in the field of education as the institution celebrates its first graduation ceremony for Form 5 students.
It is with immense pleasure and a sense of responsibility and gratitude that I stand before you today to address a few words on this day when our school organizes its first graduation ceremony for the Form 5 students. The Declaration on Christian Education, Gravissimum Educationis of Obode states the influence of the Catholic Church in the field of education is shown in a special manner by the Catholic school.
The students of this bilingual school currently tackling the General Certificate Examination (GCE) outline their readiness. These female students applaud the supportive nature of the institution.
With the accompaniment of my school, I'm ready to write the GCE exam that is coming up next Tuesday. With the support of my teachers, of my parents, and of my friends, I'm ready to write the GCE exam.
So far, the institution has recorded a plethora of successes, just as challenges, with security being the main plight as outlined by this administrator.
During the ending school year, we had not only moments of happiness, but we also had some difficulties at the level of Hildegard Althaus. What we want to see as amelioration next year will be the security of our children, hoping that we'll have children who are more inclined to follow up with their studies, and that the parents will help us to follow up what their children are doing and give them a better education so that they should avoid violence on their classmates and on other students in the whole campus. That is what we want to see ameliorated in our school campus next year.
Joy and deep satisfaction is written on the faces of all those present. The students jubilate their new academic adventure at the Hildegard Bilingual College in the Diocese of Ebolova.
Many thanks to you, Hilarion Clinton, for wrapping up that report all the way from Ebolowa in the Diocese of Ebolowa. We now leave the church, and with this time around we shall be talking education. And secondary schools across the nation Cameroon have sat in for the general certificate examinations this Tuesday 28th 2024. They tackled the subjects economics and geology. In Boya subdivision, the candidates sat at various centers under very tranquil conditions with an increased number of 197,000 candidates, compared to 182,242 candidates who registered last year. Details and more with Menadesh.
At these examination centers, candidates from different school institutions had gathered at their various centers for the written session of the General Certificate of Examination. The exams began at about 8 a.m. this May 28, 2024 with Economics Paper 1 for Form 5 and Economics 1, Geology 1 for upper seats. The practical phase of this year's examination saw an increase of 197,000 candidates compared to 182,242 candidates last year, giving an increase of about 14,000 candidates this year.
We have more than one exams going on here. We have the GCE, I have the OBC, back exams that started yesterday. And for the back exams, we have 100 candidates. Out of the 100 candidates, 2 are absent, so 97 of them wrote. Today for the back exams, Cyril Literators R and IB, they're writing philosophy, and they say J and TE, they're writing mathematics. For the O level, we have Economics 1, and in my center, we have 1,170 candidates. And for the A level, we have Economics 1 also, we have 480 candidates writing. For A level as well, we have Geology 1, we have 57 candidates writing. The exam started off well, even though we had some few candidates who came late as the first day. There's always this rush, they don't come on time, but overall the kickoff was good.
This morning the students came as early as 7 a.m. They went to the board and identified their names and their classrooms. They went to their class. At exactly 8 a.m. the examination started. The atmosphere was good because all the students were present, they came on time, and the superintendent had arranged all the classrooms. There was no problem, at least the examination started good and it has ended well.
In order to reduce examination malpractices, which have always been a routine, the board introduced some measures like installation of cameras and the increase of invigilation fee. The length of time invigilators have to keep the examination script also reduced significantly. All these steps aims at curbing malpractices.
So innovation, the GC report this year decided to step up invigilator dues to 1,500 francs, which is a wonderful achievement. And I want to say that that's quite laudable. And for that reason, I see so many invigilators standing outside here. So we have more than enough invigilators. If people know that they'll be well compensated, there's a zeal to come and do the job.
With the ongoing socio-political crisis plaguing the northwest and southwest regions, the principal of Government High School Boya Town, Madame Boka, says her school is very much prepared for this examination. The necessary security deposition taken is to ensure the safety of candidates.
I want to believe that the candidates are very, very safe. The environment is safe. If you look around, you realize that the compound is fenced all around, and we have all the surveillance cameras they are on. So I want to believe that there's ample security. At the gates, the police officers are there to make sure that there's peace. No intruder should enter. Any person who is not concerned with the examination should not get into the compound. So I believe there's ample security.
Madam Boka advises candidates in her center and beyond to take this examination at heart, since it is a pathway for them to achieve their goals in life.
I told them this morning when we had the assembly that this is their future. They are the leaders of tomorrow. They should do everything possible to pass their examination. But before this, I told them to read. I directed them on how to read, how to follow their reading timetable. And they did. And I want to believe that all of them will pass.
The examinations written across the regions of Cameroon are expected to be released earlier than last year. To make this possible, the use of an automated marking machine for multiple choice questions have been made available.
On to another story. Today, May 28, 2024 is celebrated globally as World Menstrual Hygiene Day. This year's theme is Together for a Period-Friendly World. In this regard, some non-profit making organizations set out to celebrate this day by organizing outreach programs. Make Them Smile Foundation is one of such organizations that engage in this reach out today. Our reporter Jamilatu Tongtang tells us more in this report.
As a way to colorfully and memorably celebrate this special phenomenon that occurs in every woman monthly, Make Them Smile Foundation, under the leadership of Ms. Eli A. Enanga Fule Musango, organized an outreach bringing together girls from ages of 9 and above in a bid to educate and sensitize them on menstruation.
The World Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is the 28th of May 2024, and our theme for this year is Together We Have to Build a Period-Friendly World. There have been so many myths that comes around with menstruation, and many girls have lost their self-esteem. Many people have become isolated. So many people don't have the courage, and they are not confident enough to talk about that period. But this is something that we want to break the barriers, because women are very special. We bring forth generation, and in that light we should be able to freely talk about our periods, and we should be able to reach out to people, to help out, to promote them, to be able to use reusable pads, to be able to use good sanitary napkins that are environmental friendly. So this project just came about as an inspiration, because in the rural areas, from where I am in Kumba, there are some rural areas, very inner nook and crannies, that people don't have access to menstrual hygiene tools. So we decided to come together as a group and reach out to sponsors to help us, because we know that if we help one person, we'll be able to help 10 persons, and knowledge is something that is very free. So if we're able to gather these young girls to talk about their periods, to freely talk about menstruation, whatever they have learned here today, they are going to share it to others, and we know that we are going to break the barriers that comes with menstruation.
Menstruation is not a bad thing, but a very good thing, and as long as you are a woman, you must menstruate. 13-year-old Asi Faith Engwari, one of the participants, shared.
I did not know anything about the Menstrual Hygiene Day, but today I've understood a lot. I've understand that it's good for me to... Menstruation is not a bad thing. It's a very good something, and it can happen even if you are a woman. It does not mean that you are not going to menstruate. You will menstruate, like whether you like it or not.
I learned that as a woman, when menstruating, you must always clean yourself and be hygienic. When using reusable pads, make sure you properly wash it, and when using non-reusable pads, ensure that you do not dispose them around. 12-year-old Angel Bright had this to say.
I learned that when you use reusable pad, it's always good for you to wash them. And if you use pads that are not reusable, do not throw them around the compound, the surrounding.
Menstrual hygiene kits were distributed, leaving many of the participants happy and satisfied. Meanwhile, talks, games, question and answer sessions were some of the activities that left an everlasting memory, as the attendees equally shared on their period experiences at Peña Lionga Community Hall, Boyatown this day.
The menstrual hygiene campaign,
Together for a Period-Friendly World.
Let us take you up north now, where the 24th edition of the University Games of Cameroon, which kicked off on May 25th to last till June 1st, 2024, has recorded some awesome performances in Garoua for the University of Buea, who are first in handball and first in volleyball, as well as first in basketball female category. This follows a colorful opening ceremony alongside some sad events which equally were recorded. Eileen Sama has been following up the details of the unfolding of these events and tells us more in the following report.
It is the first time that the University of Garoua is hosting the University Games, taking place under the theme University Sports and Professionalization, Major Assets for an Entrepreneurial University. The colorful ceremony to kickstart the Games took place Saturday, May 25, 2024, presided over by the Minister of Higher Education, Jacques Famundongo, accompanied by the Governor of the North Region, Jean Abate Edi. The sporting event is taking place in an atmosphere of fanfare and celebration, ensured by fan clubs representing the 10 regions of the country, animating throughout the one-week competition, which will see these fan clubs awarded medals. The University of Buea shines bright in Garoua, with the ladies leading in major disciplines including volleyball, handball, basketball, table tennis, mixed double and lawn tennis, winning gold medals in the 59 kg female category, 86 kg male, bronze in long jump and wrestling, plus silver in lawn tennis. However, French lady Sophie Coupe secures gold in the 63 kg judo category for the University of Nchang. Meanwhile, some sad events took place before the sporting jamboree began, where 2 accidents involving students on their way to Garoua were recorded. The first involved students of a university institute in Yaoundé at the Ngaoundéré Hill, leaving over a dozen injured, and the second still in Ngaoundéré, where a vehicle hit an athlete from the University of Yaoundé too.
Out of the country now, thousands of students in Somalia Central Region, Iran, have been forced to stay out of schools after heavy rains flooded the institutions. And Nigeria's government is cracking down on illegal mining, making dozens of arrests since April for unlicensed miners allegedly stealing lithium, a critical mineral used in batteries for electric vehicles, smartphones, and for power systems. Details of these stories and more on our foreign page with Joseph Otto.
Tens of thousands of students in Somalia's Central Hiran region have been forced to stay out of schools after heavy rains flooded the institutions. According to Somali education officials, more than 37,000 students in this region in central Somalia are no longer in school due to the impact of recent flooding. The area has been battered by heavy rains, resulting in severe flooding in schools. Parents are worried about how the disruption of education will affect their children's performance in the upcoming national examinations, and the flood also raised concerns of local teachers about the long-term impact on the education. Last year, the Somali government organized special exams after similar incident of flooding disrupted the exam timetable. The students in this region always have the worry of not taking part in the examination exercise despite hard work and preparation due to the flood havoc. Authorities fear a second landslide and a disease outbreak are looming at the scene of Papua New Guinea's mass casualty disaster because of water streams and bodies trapped beneath the tons of debris that swept over a village, a United Nations official said on Tuesday. A mass of boulders, earth and splinter trees devastated Yambili in the South Pacific nation's remote highlands when a limestone mountainside shed away Friday. The blanket of debris has become more unstable with recent rain and streams trapped between the ground and rubble, said Sehan, chief of the International Organization for Migra. Earth-moving equipment used by Papua New Guinea's military was expected to arrive soon after traveling from the city of Lae, 400 kilometers to the east, said Justine McMahon, country director for humanitarian agency Care International. Papua New Guinea is a diverse developing nation with 800 languages and 10 million people who are mostly subsistence farmers. Nigeria's government is cracking down on illegal mining, making dozens of arrests since April for unlicensed miners allegedly stealing lithium, a critical mineral used in batteries for electric vehicles, smartphones and power systems. The crackdown comes as Nigeria seeks to regulate its mining operations, curb illegal activity and better benefit from its mineral resources. The global demand for lithium has surged due to clean energy transition. In mid-May, a joint team of soldiers and police raided a market in Kishi, Oyo State, arresting 32 individuals including 2 Chinese nationals. The market, once known for farm produce, had become a hub for illicit lithium trading. Community leader Jimu reported clandestine searches for lithium by Chinese nationals who then engaged locals to mine for them, turning the market into a transit point. President Bola Tinubu has blamed illegal mining for worsening conflict in the north and called for international help to stop it. The Chinese embassy in Abuja has not commented on the arrest but previously urged Chinese nationals to abide by Nigerian laws.
With that report from our foreign page, we now draw the curtains of what we had for you on tonight's edition of our Primetime News. But before we take leave of you, let us have a review of our top stories. Priests of Mamfe Diocese have taken stock of their works in the diocese. They met recently at the Association of Diocesan Priests as the Association of Diocesan Priests of Mamfe Diocese. Day number 1 of the General Certificate Examinations GCE takes off hitch-free in Boya. We visited some examination centers as we did mention in the newscast. And today is commemorated globally as Menstrual Hygiene Day. Some local organizations have been doing well to put smiles on the faces of teenage girls in Boya. Thanks for joining us on tonight's edition of our Primetime News. Hope you had an interesting moment with us. We take the rendezvous for tomorrow when we'll be bringing to you more updates on what is making news in Boya Diocese, in our region, in our nation, Cameroon, and in the world at large. From me to you at this point in time, it is bye-bye as we live in the company of more interesting programs on DMR TV.